This week's Torah portion, Parshat Shlach. Parshat Shlach begins, and pretty much majority of the story begins with the Jewish people finally getting to the land of Israel. After traveling in the desert, they're ready to go into the land of Israel, and then a fear overcomes a number of them. They're afraid. What's going to happen when we go into the land? We have to conquer the land. We're going to fight wars with the people there to conquer our territory. Let's go check it out first, see what we're dealing with. And they sent 12 spies to go. And the way the story unfolds, that these spies had some ulterior motives. They were afraid that they lose their prominence in the new land, and they came back and they lied about Israel, saying it's a terrible place, it's going to be too difficult to fight. And they cried, saying, we don't want to go to the land of Israel. And God punished the Jewish people as a whole, and they had to travel another 40 years in the desert before they're allowed to go in. It's a very sad story, and one which one could reflect a little bit about how sometimes in life our choices are determined by internal things that affect our choices. They're afraid they're going to lose their prominence, they're going to go down in stature, so they lied. Many of the times when we tell things that are not true, it's because there's something in the back of our minds telling us, if you tell the truth, this will happen. If you tell the truth, that will happen. And one of the lessons we learn is you should always tell the truth no matter what. Yes, sometimes the truth hurts. It's a phrase, the truth hurts. Sometimes it really does, but at least telling the truth, you'll know you'll be doing the right thing, and at least you know God will be with you in that sense. We'll now continue with the singing of Lechadodi, the song we sing Friday night, written by the great Rabbi of Shlomo Alkabitz in the late 1400s. Lechadodi lekras kala pnei Shabbos nekabela lechadodi lekras kala pnei Shabbos nekabela shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad Ishmiyanu kel hamyuchad Hashem echad Ushma hoyachad L'shem ol sefer Ez v'lisila Chad odi likras kala Nehi Shabbos nekavela Likras Shabbos l'chuvin elcha Ki mikor habiracha meirosh mikedem nisucha Sov ma'aseh b'machshavot chila lecha dodi likras kala Pnei Shabbos nekavela mikdash melech Ir melucha kumitzi mitoch ha'afecha Rav lach sheves b'yimekabacha V'hu yachamol alayichem lalecha Dodi lekras kala Pnei Shabbos nekavela Hisnari me'afar kumi Livshi big day sefartei chalmi al yad ben yishai beis halachmi Karva el nafshi gi yahala lecha dodi lekras kala Nehi Shabbos nekabela Hisahoreri Kiva horechu miyori Uri, shir daberi, Gevod Hashem, alayich nigla. Lecha dodi lekras kala, Pnei Shabbos nekabela, V'hayulim shisa, shahosayich, V'rachaku kameh v'halayich, Yosis alayich elokayich, Kim sozcha sana kala lecha dodi lekras kala. Pnei Shabbos nekabela yamin usmal tehefrotzi v'yes Hashem taritzi
Al Yad Ben Yishai Beit Oloch Mikarva El Nafshi Ala Lecha Dodi Likras Kala Pnei Shabbos Nekavela Bawi B'Shalom Atares Ba'ala Gamberino V'Tzahala Tochemune Yam Segula Ba'wikala Lecha Dodi Likras Kala Pnei Shabbos Nekavela.
Another question is raised is, they asked permission from Moses, can we go down and spy the land? And Moses went to God, and God said, Moses, this is your decision. And Moses decided to send them, which ultimately led to the terrible sin of lying against the land of Israel, speaking bad about the land of Israel, and the Jewish people being punished. The question is, why did God give Moses the permission to allow them? God should have said, this is a bad idea. You should not do this. And Moses himself, he should have realized. And one of the things we learn from here is that God was teaching Moses a lesson. He said, listen, you have choices to make. They may not always be the right choices, but the choice is in your hand. And whenever you have a choice, you really have to think things through well. Don't just say, what's the big deal? What could go wrong? A lot of times we say in life, you do things, we say, what's the big deal? What could go wrong? And sometimes it's nothing. It's not a big deal. Nothing really could go wrong. But sometimes big things could happen. Sometimes things you don't think of. A person always has to be very thoughtful in any decision they make. Anytime in life they have to make a choice, you should always try to think clearly what are the possibilities for good and for bad. And the more you think about it clearly, the more your mind will open up, and your mind will hopefully show you the true way to go.
We're now finished with the singing of Adon Olam. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'Terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Li'es Nasa B'Chefso Kol Azai Mehelech Shemo Nikra V'Yacharei Kechlos HaKol Levahado Yimloch Nora V'Haya V'Hoveh V'Yiyeh B'Sifara V'Hu Echad V'Yein Sheni Hamshilo Lehachvira V'li Reishis V'li Sachlis V'lo Hod V'hamitra V'hu Keli V'chai Goali V'tzor Chevli V'yes Nasa V'hu Nisi Umanosli Minas Kosi B'yom Ekra B'yahado Avkid Ruchi V'yes Ishan V'yahira V'yem Ruchi Gev'yasi Ado Shemli V'lo V'ira. And have a happy and healthy week, a great weekend, a great Shabbat. We'll see everybody next week.